Welcome. The lucid dream metaphor. So in this workshop series, we're going to talk today about a very important metaphor, the lucid dreaming metaphor, which helps us to understand the singularity of existence, provides us another perspective on the field of reality that holds water, that is valid. So we come to recognize in mindfulness-based anxiety reduction that we are in a circumstance where we have valid perspectives that are coming from different points of view. So lucid dreaming unites the field of reality into a singularity. Let me tell you my experience. I was dreaming one evening, and I was not sure whether I was in a dream or awake. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. So I decided to look at a license plate. I figured that if I look at something as small and intricate as a license plate, I would make a determination whether I'm dreaming or not. So I looked at a license plate on a car in the dream, which was on a corner. And, I could see up the block. I walked over to the car, and well, it was a New York plate, and I decided I was not dreaming, and that's when I woke up. So the dream fooled me, and I was lucid in the dream. I doubted the fact that this was the other consciousness, and however, the infinite intelligence that organizes our dreams picks up all information and readily it produces it for us. It's probably the same infinite intelligence that we are participating in conscious, awakened life. So let's talk about that lucid dream metaphor, because it really rocks. And the realization that occurs to us when we dream is that everything in our dream, both ourself in the dream and our environment, is the dreamer. Me dreaming, and that unifies the field. So it all is somehow equivalent to us now. Here's the thing. The environment is equivalently you, just as the image of you is. This decenters us. In other words, we no longer fully identify with the perspective of the subjective, the perceiver. The field of perception is equivalently ourself. So we awaken, if you will. Consciousness it transcends a bit the subject-object relationship, and we find ourselves neither subject nor object, but the very transaction between two apparent, mutually exclusive realities. I hope you're following me. It's very exciting. Why? Because this helps us to modulate to the meditative placement of attention here in time and space, here when we have the impression that I am here and I am not out there. Get that idea? These are two different perspectives, duality and this non-duality are two ways of looking at the same thing. What is important to understand is that the rules that exist in non-duality exist in duality. Wow. That's really something. You mean I'm looking at myself? Well, you can say it that way. The question of a self, let's think about that again in the dream metaphor. We realize the self is neither subject nor object, but a transaction between there. So this is the same situation we're in right now, in awakened state. We do not exist outside the environment. It takes an environment. We are in the same situation as the dream metaphor. Now we're going to use this to help us, this discussion, this realization, this understanding, this acceptance of a very different perspective on reality. And it, of course, is rational. It's rational even in the dualistic world. We are indeed integral. We are manifestations of what we're participating in. No whole, no part. And every part is, in fact, a microcosm, a holon, a manifestation, an individualization of the whole. So we've looked at meditation, the meditative placement of attention, in terms of the suspension of judgment in some earlier videos, which is wonderful. We come to our senses. Now, what I would like you to participate in is an exercise in meditation in which we identify as our experience, just as we do in the lucid dream. So what you're hearing is equivalently you, as that which is hearing. The event is not happening to anyone. It is the happening. Continue to consider the objective field as equivalent to you. All right, we're going to end this exercise, which of course never ends, This is the healing workshop, and this video was the lucid dream metaphor, and we're going to continue with the series and move into some of the psychological interests in this workshop, and we'll look next at the snake phobia metaphor. Snake phobia metaphor. Why do we take an interest in snake phobia? Because we know how it is cured. It's cured by exposure. We expose the person who's experiencing the phobia to the snake, and things get better. Well, what does that say? It suggests we're not necessarily in a circumstance. We are in an imagining. And so we see the tremendous influence of the imagination on what we call circumstance. And well, we're looking forward to that video. Thanks for tuning in, and take a look at the next one. Stay well.